I'm in bed, it's very early in the morning, I never sleep. Moving on. I'm just gonna show you how I discovered what I'm showing you. The main thing that made me make this series of what the whole point is. Here we go. We can actually integrate the first example. So I'm gonna make a voice memo using my AirPods. Oh my gosh, I got 420 views on TikTok. She's going viral. I'll rename this AirPods audio. Okay, I'm gonna start up Claude, take the audio and put it in a folder on my desktop, Adobe Audition. I'll do Command C, open up iTerm, go to the folder, start up Claude. I don't recommend you do this until you know what you're doing. You just type Claude. Next, I'm gonna get some information on how to use Adobe Audition 2025 and make audio better. So I have a video and some playlists. I'm gonna ask Claude to download those videos or get the transcriptions using free terminal tools. I'm going to prepare my prompt in a text editor, just a regular one, and I'm gonna also suggest that it use the YouTube Transcript API project from GitHub. The first time I did this, I just said, find YouTube transcripts on GitHub and picked out a couple of those. I'm gonna ask it to make sure that everything is organized. It is so hot. Next, while this is going, I knew that I had to make a Retrieval Augmented Generation system because that's how this works. That's the librarian tip that I'm sharing to you on how to use this card catalog to find the information, the books, if you will. Cut to Mr. R.J. McCandless. This might have been where I got the idea. He is an engineer that shares information architecture and questions you would get in an engineering interview, so it's the most relevant, up-to-date, industry standard information. I downloaded all of Mr. McCandless's videos, transcribed them, and searched the transcripts for recommendations on how to make a Raj. I can't share this information with you. You can only do this personally and download it on your machine, because if I did, that would count as redistribution. So, staying within the rules, I have my document here. You can easily do the same thing. All you have to do is say, I want to download this TikTok profile, create the transcripts, and then you can create your Raj recommendations, or watch the videos and note it down. I'm not saying everything has to be done with AI. I personally use AI for everything so I can push it to its limits so I can make these videos and know how it works. So, different use cases, different strokes, different folks. Tip, playlists don't download well. You have to identify the individual videos. It can do that itself. Let's move to the living room. Ribbit's sleeping. I don't want to wake him up. He's in the other room, obviously. He doesn't sleep in the bed yet. I don't know if I think I'll wait till maybe we can take naps together. I don't know. So the YouTube transcript API isn't working, so we're just gonna download the videos and transcribe them with Whisper. I'm gonna say no timeouts. Timeouts is a time limit on a script that the AI automatically puts, and sometimes things just take a long time. I manually check. I prefer no timeouts, so another tip. You can see the timeout on the right here, with my big ass mouse pointer. Claude Code is having a moment. This is normal. It's because the output is longer than the window. All you have to do is just do Command minus a bunch, and it's back to normal. While this is going, I also went above and beyond, and I'm gonna go on a little side quest right now in order for more automation to occur. There's this video that explains the process from 6 years ago, and I'll be using part of this. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut away now. Okay, I'm back from the side quest, and I'm gonna check in and see how we're doing. Amazing. I'm gonna give it my group of transcriptions regarding Raj from Mr. McCandless and tell it to make a Raj based off the transcripts that I downloaded. I'm also going to tell it to make sure that I have a model that will run on my computer. Mr. McCandless has some recommendations, so I use the one that he recommends, but I'll show you the process. If you haven't noticed, I use ChatGPT to transcribe my voice, sometimes Adobe Audition. As part of Mr. McCandless's recommendations that I'm giving you right now on how to make a Retrieval Augmented Generation system, we'll need to have a local LLM running. Please evaluate my core, processors, speed, and hard drive space to see the best one that fits. I'm currently recording a YouTube video, so I'm just illustrating this. However, I think we already have one installed, but you can double check for me. Once we've confirmed that the LLM is installed, the one recommended by Mr. McCandless, I would like you to proceed with creating the Retrieval Augmented Generation system per his specifications nothing less, nothing more. Also create it to have the ability to communicate with an agent, another LLM, what else? And once you understand everything, then we can go forward with the Retrieval Augmented Generation system. And I would like you to create the database that you create in a separate file and not built in. You can save everything within the current working directory. In a subfolder, everything nice and tidy. Please keep everything for this part in a separate subfolder. I use Alfred and it has clipboard history. I highly recommend that you use a program that has clipboard history. I have videos on that on my channel. So it's checking my hard drive space, my core processors. Ollama is an application for terminal that is a directory of publicly available LLMs. You can see the list that I have here, and they're between 274 and 8 gigabytes. So it's totally possible to run models on your computer. I have 7 billion parameters. That's a lot. So it confirmed that I had the LLM that we're going to need to run the Raj, and it's going to set up the Raj based off Mr. McCandless's amazing recommendations. And just to note, if you're watching this, feel free to skip to the next chapter. I'm going to talk about why I use dangerously approved permissions. So it's finished making the Raj, and I'm also going to have it create a chatbot too. One reason why I love Claude Code is because it has the to-do list, and with my unmedicated ADHD, I can add things to the to-do list at the end so I don't forget. I'm asking it to make a chatbot and create some sort of shortcut where you can just double click it and it'll open up. So that way you don't have to worry about doing the terminal stuff. I'll do Command minus. So obviously this is not good, but once it stops doing stuff, then you could do Command plus again. So okay, let's check it out. So it found 5 relevant chunks and it asked what's Adobe Audition used for. And then it provided the sources, and it took 65 milliseconds. So if you ask more specific things and you want to watch the original source, then you can go to that. So that's why I think this is powerful. You can, yes, YouTube does have this feature where you can Google it and it'll go directly to the item. However, you can choose from your trusted sources, whatever that might be. This creator is very good at Adobe Audition, and I've watched his videos before. That's why I immediately chose them. And you can watch that material based off of selected items and not what Google chooses for you. Okay, so the chatbot's ready. I'm gonna just test it out for fun. So it made an app. Oh, so it made a little app. So let's go ahead and try it out. Okay, so here's our chatbot that's running locally with all of the information from our Raj. And let's say I'm being very general. So it found 5 relevant chunks and it's putting it together right now. Okay, this is good. So he doesn't specifically mention AirPods. I'm gonna see if he does on YouTube. I'll say improve audio. Okay, one thing that we're missing is the official Adobe Audition documentation. There's an amazing website called Context 7, which I'll do a whole nother video on, which has a documentation too. So this is going to be another tool that we're going to provide to our agent to help us do the edits. The website is Context 7. So it turns out there's no Adobe Audition. So I'm going to use the documentation that I acquired for my own personal use via Firecrawl. I'll do another video on that. So this is another part of it. So our local LLM is providing answers, which is great. It's working. Let's go ahead and add the official Adobe Audition documentation to my Raj. It's actually good that we're going through this so you can see how to, chapter title, update your Retrieval Augmented Generation system. I'll wait for this to download and then we'll check back in. All right, I'm going to just put this path inside of terminal. I did Option Command C and it's gonna go through and look what I downloaded. And now's a good time. I'm gonna go ahead and ask it to document our process and what we're doing and what we've done so far in case the context window runs out. I always keep my documentation all in one place rather than within each folder because it just makes it easier to come back to. So I'm saying, and I always prefix it with the date and the time with the milliseconds, and I have a keyboard shortcut for that or a text replacement shortcut. I'm also going to ask it to make instructions specifically for an AI to start the Raj. CWD stands for current working directory, and that comes from PWD in terminal, which means present working directory. Just a quick small side quest for everybody. If I go to CD desktop and do PWD, that's where we are. Just explaining that. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and let it do its thing, and then we'll come back whenever it's done. Adding documentation to the Raj, but we can go ahead and use it while it's adding documentation and the database will be updated. That's pretty cool. Let's go to a new conversation. I'll just use Claude normally so you can see how it works if you're not familiar with it. I'll copy the AI agent instructions. Sorry about the fridge. I'll describe the issue. I recorded this audio with some AirPods. I created a Retrieval Augmented Generation database to help us. So can you use internet knowledge and information from the Retrieval Augmented Generation and information that you know to help me make it better in Adobe Audition? Can you first start out by opening it in Adobe Audition and taking a screenshot and seeing how we can make it better? I'll put that in. So it's freaking out, and sometimes Claude Code does this. So we're going to use the keywords that I said and just reinforce it that it can use it via the terminal. Some more library tips. You can use terminal tools in order to open the file with Adobe Audition. You can use terminal tools in order to take a screenshot and read the characteristics of the waveform that's open. Let's start there. The thing is, Claude Code, as I mentioned before, everyone's using the frontier models in order to do things on top. There's the model and the agent. The model sometimes forgets it's an agent, and it doesn't understand that it's already in the CLI, command line interface from the first video. Also, it doesn't know what year it is because Adobe Audition.app, it's probably going to look for Adobe Audition 2024, but it'll find it. It's empty. Let me go ahead and we'll try to take out the background noise. This is an audio with some background noise that we need to take out. So it has its to-do list. I'll go ahead and do yes. You can also push 2 and it'll do it. So I personally feel that I'm experienced enough to use dangerously skip permissions. When you feel that you are too, I have some other recommendations that I filmed in the other video about some warnings. So use dangerously skip permissions at your own risk. I'll provide another video with some warnings after I upload this because I'll be excited to edit it. So here's why I like Claude Code versus Cursor, because you can see here it took a screenshot on screen capture and then it read the screenshot all by itself. So it realized that I just took a picture of terminal, so I'm just gonna push 2 again, it'll activate. And usually whenever I'm working on a part where I don't have another monitor, I always say when you're done taking the screenshot, go back to terminal. So it's reading the file path. So this is the cool part. It can walk you through step by step and you can learn interactively with the computer. Yes, you can do that on YouTube, but you can ask questions to this. Okay, it's reading the screenshot and then it's deciding which question to ask the Raj. Let's see if it chooses the parametric equalizer. So it's working, it's just taking a long time because it's running locally. So you can see that there's some answers coming from our Raj about vocal clarity. It's going to provide us with some recommendations. This is going especially slow because I'm adding to the database at the same time. I'm going to ask it to open the recommendations inside of TextEdit. So let's check it out. Okay, right here, we're going to automate this part because I created a map for the parametric equalizer. But let's go ahead and do one. Okay, so I'm going to select the silence section where there's no speech. Go to Effects, Noise Reduction, Effects, Noise Reduction, Noise Reduction, Process. Click Capture Noise Print. Select the entire audio, Command A. Adjust settings, start at 70 to 80% for AirPods. Reduce by 10 to 15 decibels. Okay, so reduce by 10 to 15. I'm gonna reopen the window. So it's currently 7, so 7 minus 10. It says reduce by 10. So I'll move it to 10. Noise reduction at 70%. Okay. You can see, I guess that's noise coming up, 70 to 80%. So it did take it out. Okay, so let's check the voice. So with some background noise that's not bad. Here's the final cool part. I'm gonna prepare my prompts, and I'm also going to give a tip on how I create prompts. So I'm gonna record with Whisper, and then I'm going to give it some file paths, and you'll see. Okay. So I actually created a coordinate map, which I'll provide the path in location A. There should be some coordinates for you, I think in the JSON. There is a screenshot of the parametric equalizer panel in location B. And finally, there's an Apple script that will open the panel in location C. So I would like you to go ahead and do your recommended edits one at a time and you can use CLI click to click on things, or whatever, Apple scripting or whatever. So can you go ahead and first use the Apple script to open the panel? So the idea would be this would be a whole agent system. So it's reading the coordinates and the information that I built in the side quest. It's opening the parametric equalizer function. I'm going to go ahead and escape, and I'm going to say in between items, actually I'll just move the screen to the right. I'm saying to activate Adobe Audition each time because I'm typing with it. I'm going to have it bring up iTerm or terminal whenever it wants to talk to me. It's going to set up the high pass filter at 80 Hertz. Let me just change the window. I didn't give it my specifications on how to do Apple scripting, so I'm just going to give it a little bit of help. I can provide my Apple scripting guide for AI because I created it, and I will allow distribution. So it just set the frequency to 80 Hertz. It's going to set band 3 to reduce the muddiness at 250. It's reducing band 3 by 2 decibels. So do you see how cool this is? I'm learning about muddiness, and I'm doing something that I need to do right now. Yes, that was a lot of setup, but the idea is to create things for people or give this to people to create, and then they can do this on a repeated process. Because if I have another audio, this is all ready to go. And eventually I can see the results, hear it, and learn, and then do it myself if I want. I really don't know much about this. I'm also going to take a screenshot of the panel. I didn't program the apply button in the coordinate map, so I'll do that manually. So I took a screenshot of the panel so it can see the waveform amongst the adjustments to see if there's anything that it wants to do. So it wants to do some more changes. It did try to put it back in a weird way, so it's not perfect. So now it's going to make some changes based off the information. So this is why this is so cool that a YouTube video can't do. It can apply to a certain situation on the user's computer. I want to do this for Touch Designer. I tried. I'm doing some stuff for Ableton, for things that I want to learn. And this is Adobe Audition 2025. This is new information. Anthropic and OpenAI can't do this. They can Google search, but they can't keep that information. You can with the Raj. Whoever watches this video in its entirety, please send me an email at hello@theproductivityshop.co or make a comment so I can personally thank you. I just think this is really cool. I just need help finding, this is what I want to teach people. This is it. This is it. This is the power of AI to help people learn anything. I want to do it for something in real life. Synthesizer, because I don't really know. I'm going to choose apply, and let's check the audio. That's pretty good. An audio with some background noise. So I'm going to do this for the fridge, but I'm going to go take a nap while this exports, and then I'll furiously edit all day. So if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. Thank you.